As we start to witness more adoption for crypto and cryptocurrencies, we also witness more institutions and players in this space come out with some exciting news. So today's going to be no different. We're going to talk about the Quant Network, the recent announcement that their patent was granted by the United States government. We're going to talk about what that patent is, how it is going to benefit the Quant token, and then we're going to also look at 2023 when we look at Japan approving a very similar patent for Quant. Then we will move into post-quantum computing, looking at SEALSQ, SealCoin, their token Quate, what's happening in October in New York, which is a massive meeting revolving around quantum and AI. And of course, SEALSQ is going to be a part of this. Then lastly, we will wrap it up with Constellation DAG, what's going on with their parent company AI Squared, looking for an acquisition from Messier 42, and what this may mean for Constellation DAG. You don't want to go anywhere, guys. A lot of good information in this video. Let's go ahead and get into it. First story is going to be the Quantum Network coming out of All In Crypto. Check it out. We have Quantum Network has officially been granted U.S. patent for a secure system designed to connect multiple distributed ledgers. That goes straight to Quant's core thesis, interoperability between financial networks, and could unlock even stronger commercial adoption for Quant. This gives institutions patent infrastructure to securely connect different blockchains and financial networks through one interoperable system. Yes, this patent is January 4, 2024, so people might be concerned about that. No worries, you know I got your back here. So this is the actual patent, and you can see all the fancy imagery here for the 250 United States. Big moment here, guys, really, when we think about it. This is the actual patent here. You'll see July 28, 2026. So if you want to check it out, you want to read it, 29 pages long. All this is going to be down in my video description as always, though. No worries there. We know you got your back here. But if you want to get a better visual, maybe you're new to Quant, maybe this is still kind of over your head, which is totally fair. This stuff can be very complex. Check this out with me, just a quick visual so you have a better understanding of what this patent is and what Quant is doing. So check it out with me here. It says what Quant actually patent? A specific workflow for coordinating verified instructions across different ledgers. 1. Monitor. Watch 2 or more ledgers for accepted transactions containing instructions. 2. Identify and verify. Select the relevant instructions and verify at least some of them. 3. Execute and store. Run each verified instruction against a separate electronic record and store its results. 4. Write back proof. Place a verification record on at least one ledger showing the stored results. 5. Preserve order. The verification record indicates the order in which verified instructions were executed. It's important to understand this piece here, guys. It protects the claimed sequence, not the general idea of connecting blockchains, which is interoperability. So if anybody in the market is telling you that Quant Network has patent interoperability, that's not technically true, so don't fall for that. It's important to understand what's really happening here. But let's flash back to August of 2023 when we had this first speak about their patent coming out. This is going to come from actual Quant, some good information. Check it out with me. Quant granted patent for chronologically ordering blockchain transactions. As you see, August 2023, we go back, it says, we have secured a new patent, a part of our ongoing mission to make distributed ledger technology simple, trusted, and future-proof. Good information here if you can go back and read it. I don't want to waste your time. The grant of Japanese patent recognizes that Quant has introduced a method to agree on a universal time zone for all blockchains so that enterprises and smaller businesses can produce reliable consensus-based records. So we know that this patent is already in place, but we keep on reading. It says, although we work with large institutions, most recently with the Bank of England on project examining central bank digital currencies. Bank of England is exciting. We know that they're working with England, but as we pop up in this link here, it gets even more exciting. June 2023, Quant collaborates with BIS and the Bank of England on Project Rosalind. Think about that. Quant working with BIS, working with the Bank of England. This is no small move, guys. And we want to get the original Japanese patent. Here it is right here. If you want to get a quick synopsis, this is what that patent is. I ran it through Gemini because I cannot speak Japanese, nor can I read it. The present disclosure provides a computer-implemented method and system for maintaining a record of an order of messages or transactions appearing across one or more blockchains. It involves an overledger communication layer that operates above underlying DLT layers, allowing cross-chain verification, interoperability, transaction sequences, logging without relying on central authority. So as you can see, Quant isn't playing around. They're working with BIS, the Bank of England. They're patenting their technology. They are the trusted layer that institutions will rely on. They're going to be around, in my opinion, for quite some time should there not be any kind of acquisition or something. It's definitely something you want to keep your eye on. And for you guys that are maybe new to Quant, you want to check out their price action. Take a look at your screen with me. As you can see, Quant right now is at $62.01. As you see on the monthly, we are definitely up. But we take a look at their max supply, which is the 14.88 million Quant. Let's think about that comparatively to what Bitcoin's 21 million is, and we have circulating supply of 12.0 million Quant. Now, I'm not telling you to go out and rush and buy Quant. This is great news. It's not going to shoot the price of Quant up automatically, but it is a good opportunity, in my opinion, at a good price, knowing what the bigger picture may be. I highly encourage you to talk to your financial advisor and always do your own research. And guys, while we're here, if you could hit that like button, it'd be very much appreciated. As you guys know, the larger channels are even struggling, getting 30-40% down on views. YouTube has become very competitive. And with that, they want to become more competitive with X, right? So they want to become more of a social media site, not just videos. You'll see me posting more of my posts, quote unquote, on YouTube. And here's an example right here. This is one I put out yesterday, day before making this video. I just kind of threw out some things I was looking at. Let's go back here. Threw some things out that I was looking at just because there's so much coming out and I can't keep up with it. So if you guys like this kind of idea where I can throw a bunch of stuff I'm looking at into a post, let me know down in the comments that you guys do like that. And if you like this kind of reporting, please consider subscribing to the channel. We bring you no hopium, we just bring you facts. Consider subscribing to the channel. We would love to have you aboard. Now let's get into SealSQ, Sealcoin. A quick synopsis for guys that don't know what's going on, or you people that don't know what's going on with Sealcoin, SealSQ. No worries, this is kind of a project not a lot of people are paying attention to. So essentially, they are an ecosystem. So you have YSAT, WiseKey, you have Sealcoin, SealSQ. The list keeps going. They are built on Hedera. They have a token, Quate, caught you up to speed. They're post-quantum technology, essentially. So let's go ahead and get into it so you have a better understanding of what I'm talking about. So this is going to come from Carlos, and I want to give a quick read over what's going on. I'm not going to read it all, don't worry, so check it out. It says, I'll once again have the privilege of delivering a keynote at this year's prestigious Q plus AI conference in New York, one of the leading global events in the intersection of quantum computing and artificial intelligence. I will use this opportunity to provide the updates of SealSQ's U.S. expansion and our latest development in post-quantum cryptography, PQC. If you see that, that's what that means, by the way, in quantum technologies. And we will continue building our sovereign vertical quantum stack. Again, think about what I just told you, WiseKey, WiseSat, etc. A key focus of my keynote will be how SealSQ is aligning with its technology roadmap with the U.S. priorities for accelerating transitions to post-quantum cryptography and strengthening the security of America's digital infrastructure against the emerging quantum threat. The third annual Q plus A conference has become a must-attend, blah, 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 blah. I don't want to go through all that, but it says, this is the important piece. I would look forward to being in New York and sharing how SealSQ is moving from PQC standards to deployment. Moving from standards to deployment, we have seen this time and time again. They're telling you guys, combining post-quantum semiconductors, root of trust, PKI, quantum technologies, and secure infrastructure into an integrated sovereign technology stack. And this is the actual meeting that's coming up October 25th through the 27th, 2026 in New York. And let's roll down and get a couple of speakers because this is where it gets very fascinating. Check this out. Of course, all your typical SealSQ and all these people will be there, right? You have to be there. You work there. But you have Deloitte, Crypto Foray, IBM Quantum. You're going to see IBM quite a bit. So if you're not investing in IBM on the stock exchanges now, I would consider at a good opportunity to buy whatever that looks like for you to look at IBM. And then as we roll down, guys, throw out some bigger names people know. Again, IBM again. We have Cantor. They're also a part of it. And then I'm just trying to go through here and see if we have any more names that everybody would know. Anyway, some big names in here, guys. I don't want to waste some more time really scrolling through this. Cisco was another one, IBM again, etc. You get the point, right? So we're seeing big names being attached to SealSQ, WiseKey, WiseSat, that whole ecosystem. They're very much connected into not just the United States military, but they're connected in the financial layers as well. And they're building semiconductors, right? That's what they're doing here. So check out this, and this is the reason why they're doing this. This is how this is going to tie back into finance and all that, because I know that's what a lot of people want to know is about the financial side. Keep in mind, as finance and quantum computing compete, it becomes very exposed. And this is what he explains here. So check this out. It says, banks are facing quantum risk that can be measured in billions. The financial sector is built on digital trust. Every payment transaction, digital signature, certificate, customer authentication, and interbank communication depends on cryptography. But much of that infrastructure still relies on RSA and ECC cryptographic systems that will become vulnerable to sufficiently powerful quantum computers. The economic consensus of failing to migrate to PQC could be enormous. For a major financial institution, a serious quantum-related compromise could potentially generate billions of dollars in economic damage through fraudulent or manipulated transactions, compromised digital signatures and identities, exposure to confidential financial and customer data, payment and banking system disruption, regulatory penalties and litigation, customer and deposit outflows, perpetual damage and loss of market value, and the risk already exists. Sorry for you guys that have been around, you know I am dyslexic and I still try to read out loud on camera in front of people. I don't know why I do it. I have fun with it. But you see what's going on here. They're trying to also secure the infrastructure around banking, and it has to be done through chips that's going to be sent into space and satellites, which they have already done so because the low orbit space, right? That's how all this is getting transitioned to. Your new infrastructure isn't going to be based on Earth. It's going to be in low orbit space. So when you're launching these satellites up that have these post-quantum chips, it's not like you're going to go up there and grab your satellite, come down and switch out that chip and send another one. They're getting prepared for the future is my goal here, what I'm trying to really highlight here. And how they have to do that is with those chips that I just mentioned. And this is how we're going to tie into this next segment coming from Carlos as well. So check this out. QASIC, which is Quantum Resistant Application Specific Integrated Circuit, right? I mean, that's not a mouthful for you. So QASIC is IC Alps Innovative Development Custom Quantum Resistant Integrated Circuits through IC Alps. It's French ASIC design subsidiary. It combines Sealcoin's post-quantum cryptography and secure semiconductor technologies with IC Alps expertise in analog, digital, and mixed signal ASIC design. But an important piece here is this. QASIC is intended to embed post-quantum security directly into specialized customer-owned semiconductor architectures, providing high performance and low power protection for critical infrastructure and defense systems, IoT industrial equipment, medical and healthcare devices, automotive and aerospace applications, artificial intelligence systems, secure microcontrollers, and hardware security modules. So when we think about all this, if you watch the channel, you know I'm a fan of SealSQ, Sealcoin, etc. They're looking and thinking about the future when you have autonomous robots, cars, drones, etc., all communicating with one another, having to transact one another autonomously. How do you do that? How do you give machines identity? How do you make sure that's secure? That's what SealSQ, WiseSat, this whole ecosystem is doing. When I call it an ecosystem, check out this from SealSQ, speaking about those same chips we just read about. Check this piece out. So SealSQ announces development of QASIC, the quantum-resistant ASIC by Alps. That's the headline. So in the short term, they are looking to commercialization of the first post-quantum computer standard chip on the market. In the midterm, develop a custom IC solution that QASIC, Quantum ASIC application specific integrated circuit and related security offering. Looks like they have these two here already in development. And then we have in the long term providing secure system solutions for next generation architectures, including chiplet-based hardware security modules, tightly coupled with pre-certified secure enclaves to IP to be integrated into larger chips. What's also interesting is that the IC Alps, as you see this page here, is also a SEAL-SQ company. And if you look at their token, which is Quate, this is their token here, as you can see, is extremely cheap right now with a market cap of 1.32 million. And keep in mind, guys, this token just launched back in June, so you are still new to it. We have a circulating supply of 500 million Quate with a max supply of 10 billion Quate, or you might hear it as kite as well. So hopefully you see the bigger picture with Silcoin, SEAL-SQ, what they're doing. Their ecosystem is massive, and they are definitely changing how we get ready for the post-quantum world. Now let's move into Constellation, DAG, the AI squared stories. This is where it gets pretty exciting, guys. Check it out with me here. So this is Constellation's post on X. It says the holding company doing what holding companies are supposed to do. AI squared, this is what this is, AI, so AI squared, if you hear me say it, that's what I mean, is expanding the platform across defense, intelligence, and healthcare. More operating companies, same architecture. But I wanted to read you guys a post from Marco Salzman. I think he does a great job breaking down these projects, and he seems to be on the same track with things that people aren't speaking about, like DAG, like Quate, these different projects a lot of people are just overlooking right now because it's too far in advance that people just aren't there yet. So check out this post with me. It's going to be a couple of them. I'll move quick as I can here, guys, and we'll look at the DAG price as well. So check it out. So from Marco Salzman says, the architecture was already taking shape before the acquisition talks began. AI Squared announced today that it has entered discussions with Messier 42 or M42 regarding potential acquisitions across defense, intelligence, healthcare, gaming, rare earth minerals. No deals yet, just discussions. And because M42 is controlled by AI Square founder and controlling shareholder John P. Rochon, any transactions would be related party transactions subject to a fairness opinion and board approval. Important to keep that in note and keep your eyes on that acquisition should it happen. But it says in November 2025, Messier 42, Constellation, and DFNN Group announced a strategic collaboration in the Philippines. The goal, build what they described as the world's first unified AI plus blockchain plus crypto integrated lottery system. Again, we're seeing an ecosystem with AI squared, just as we are with YSAT, Silcoin, and all that. The roles were clear. M42, transformation AI. Constellation, this is where that DAG and all that comes into play. Hypergraph network, providing decentralized infrastructure for secure, scalable, and transparent data exchange. DFNN, regulated operational infrastructure across areas including gaming, payments, banking, and capital markets. But as we keep reading on, we have now AI Holdings could potentially bring some of those M42 businesses into its own operating model. We're talking about, this is their AI squared, how they work. They attract, acquire, integrate, TAI, optimize, grow, repeat. A possible architecture could then look like this. M42 business, transformation AI, constellation infrastructure, verifiable data control, accountability, critical and regulated industries, and defense and intelligence deserves particular attention. And one more last one here we have, so if AI squared eventually brings M42 business and defense and intelligence into its operating architecture, Constellation already brings something unusually relevant. Experience at the intersection of defense, secure data, and verifiable infrastructure. That does not mean Constellation will necessarily use those businesses, important to understand, but it makes the connection considerably more than theoretical. And across defense, intelligence, healthcare, and critical mineral supply chains, three questions become increasingly important. This is key here. Can you trust the data? Can you control what AI is allowed to do? Can you prove afterward what actually happened? That's where the pieces we've discussed recently started connecting. DOOR, physical world data layer, Gate AI, external control layer, digital evidence, verifiable accountability. And for you guys that are curious about the price, here you go, extremely cheap once again. And you will see that we have a circulating supply of 2.87 billion DAG. There is no max supply on that, but we do have a market cap of 21.44 million. Always do your own research before you go out and buy any project I speak about on this channel. So we step back, we put all this together, we can see the direction in which we're going. We want to make sure we're watching what is happening the post-quantum world, which companies are getting ready for this, which ones are going to lay the groundwork and usher in a post-quantum world. And my belief as I'm watching these different companies and networks, etc., I definitely think Quant is a strong player in it. And keep in mind, just because Quant doesn't technically have the classification of a post-quantum project yet doesn't mean that it won't, and doesn't mean that it can't connect and make that happen, right? And also, as we think about the post-quantum world, you want to make sure that you're staying ahead of the game, educate yourself, stay up to date with these things, don't get lost in all the noise, the distractions, and all the hopium. Stop watching the price action. Educate yourself further if you haven't already done so. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Guys, if you did, again, please hit that like button. That is massive. I cannot stress that enough. I cannot tell you guys enough how much I appreciate you doing that. Leaving a comment down below, sharing with a friend, subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. Before I let you guys go, take care of yourself, take care of the people around you, and become the change that you want to see in the world. I'll catch you guys on the next one.